Remember how the last time we talked about Maddox Jolie-Pitt and his dad Brad Pitt, they were not talking to each other? Well, it seems like 2020 has been treating him well because major changes are happening in Brad's life. First, he received his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and now he apparently is getting his son back. I'm gonna tell you all about it very soon, right after you hit the bell and subscription button. Great. Shall we move on to the story now? Angelina's first child, Maddox Jolie-Pitt, was born on August 5, 2001 in Cambodia. Apparently, the plan was for Billy Bob Thornton, Angie's then partner, to be the father of the child. But later, Angelina decided to adopt him alone. Jolie had previously visited Cambodia to record scenes for the 2001 Tomb Raider movie. Later, she joined the UN refugee camp mission, and it was after visiting the orphanage Maddox was in that she decided she wanted to be his mother. That is how, in March of 2002, when he was just 7 months old, Maddox found a new family. Even though Maddox didn't have a dad in this new family in the beginning, soon when Brad Pitt entered Angie's life, he signed the adoption papers in 2006 and became Maddox's father. Things seemed to be just fine, and the bond the two had together seemed like a biological father and son bond, until the rumors of a fight on a plane started swirling around. According to the rumors, the fight happened in 2016 on their flight from France to LA. No one really knows what the fight was about, but some of the sources claim that Brad was wasted. Apparently, the argument was between Brad and Angie, but sitting there, Maddox could no longer take it, so he interfered and stood up for his mother. What happened next remains unknown, but the worst allegations suppose that Jolie had to jump between Brad and Maddox to stop her ex-husband from getting physical with their son. Some reports also suggest that the fight got so out of hand and Brad allegedly hit his eldest son, which made Angelina call the FBI, and soon after this incident, the divorce papers were on the table. That FBI part, which I don't know what it was about, was done, and Brad was cleared of all the allegations. But the divorce was still on. Apparently, that fight was the last straw for Angie. She had had enough of Brad's alcoholism and his temper. At this point, the safety of the kids was in danger and Angie could not take that risk. Seemed like that incident was also a wake-up call for Brad because he lost all that was known to him in a blink of an eye for his own wrongdoing, so he decided to make up for it and be the changed man. He started going to therapy and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and took tests to prove his eligibility for custody of the kids. Even though things had been very difficult for Angie since the divorce, she has been trying to remain focused on having a healthy family and support the reconciliation of the children with Brad. But still, there were rumors here and there that one kid didn't want to rebuild the bond. Despite everything that Angie and Brad had been trying to do, the relationship between him and Maddox was reportedly still sour, to the point that Maddox didn't see himself as Brad's son anymore. Even for the past Christmas, Maddox did not go to visit his dad. His other brother, Pax, also had allegedly followed his older brother's footsteps. Back then, they said that Maddox and Pax wanted to spend more time with their friends and that they were busy doing their own things, and that is why they didn't join their dad. But was that really the reason? Recently, Maddox had left to study biochemistry at South Korea's Yonsei University, and the interview he had on his first day was the reason why people believe the rumors about a rift between the father and son were true. When Maddox was asked if Brad was planning on visiting him in college, he said that he didn't know about that. Also, when the reporter asked if his relationship with his dad was over or not, he answered, "Well, whatever happens, happens." According to Us Weekly, Brad had already talked to Angelina about visiting Maddox in Seoul. And even though Angelina had been trying to heal the rift between father and son, Maddox wasn't receptive. But all of this was long ago. Remember how Brad was not present when he won his BAFTA? Well, we know what the reason was. Based on In Touch's source, the actor fully intended to go to the BAFTAs, but at the last minute, he learned that his son Maddox was back in LA from college. So he prioritized things and stayed in town to see him and work more on their relationship. Apparently, father and son spent some quality one-on-one time together, and in the end, Maddox finally forgave his dad. After more than 3 years, he finally changed his mind. If I were to reject my dad for more than 3 weeks, he would disown me, but I guess these Hollywood parents and kids do things differently. Anyway, if all of this is true, I am happy for Brad. He sure is having a blast in 2020. It seems like he has finally got his things together and is ready to turn a new leaf and live his life to the fullest. Guess every now and then you find your own version of happily ever after in Hollywood. Now that Maddox has forgiven Brad Pitt, what do you think is the next step for this star? Do you think that there is a chance for him to go back to Angelina? After all, the fight with Maddox was the reason why Angelina decided to file the papers for divorce. Let's talk about that in the comments, and remember to like, share, and become a part of our CurioSips family by subscribing to our channel. Until next time.